Are you there, God? It's me, Shouta. Written by Drifting Manatee. Read for you by Gemini Wishes. Summary. Shouta has a bad feeling about this. Perhaps it's nothing. Perhaps it's paranoia. Perhaps it's the lack of sleep finally making itself known. That's the last time he forgets to stock up on earplugs for whenever Hisashi falls asleep before him. The rest of Hero Society should be grateful that only he has to endure his eardrums being ruptured by supersonic foghorns snoring on a nightly basis. Yeah, perhaps everything is fine. Everything was not fine. AKA, the fake baby project sequel that no one asked for. This fic has been rated T, but no archive warnings apply. Shouta has a bad feeling about this. Perhaps it's nothing. Perhaps it's paranoia. Perhaps it's the lack of sleep finally making itself known. That's the last time he forgets to stock up on earplugs for whenever Hisashi falls asleep before him. The rest of Hero Society should be grateful that only he has to endure his eardrums being ruptured by supersonic foghorns snoring on a nightly basis. Yeah, perhaps everything is fine. Only now, as he stands looking down upon Principal Nezu, who is smiling sweetly with his paws crossed like he knows he's about to take a steaming dump all over Shota's mental stability yet again, everything feels very much not remotely fine at all. Because Shota's been here before, almost in this exact position and weighed down by an equally thick aura of dread. Aizawa-san, Nezu begins, and Shouta is instantly possessed by an urge to strangle himself with his own hair. As you know, the school facility was recently encouraged to administer their compulsory sexual education earlier in the curriculum than has been the precedent in the past.
I am aware of that, sir, Shouta states, because he is.
After it came to our attention that some students had entered into romantic relationships, the decision proved to be a wise one, Nezu continues.
With all due respect, Principal, you weren't there,
Shouta mutters. Indeed, Nezu hums thoughtfully. And Aizawa, I must say, some of the reports of Class 2A sexual education session proved, well, startling, to say the least.
Startling. Startling, this Snow White hellspawn persona says. Startling, in Shota's humble opinion, does not encompass an ounce of the torment that he was put through during that particular exercise in existential destitution. Would one claim that enduring Ida's relentless questioning on the mechanics of prostate simulation was startling? Could having Ashido ask if an erect penis needed to be snapped like a glow stick before it could ejaculate be posited merely as startling? In what universe could startling ever accurately describe the multitude of emotions that Shouta had felt when Kaminari raised his hand and asked if anyone had ever gone blind from masturbating? Because, like, what if you're jacking it, but it's, like, too good, so when you nut, it goes full-on Tokyo Drift straight into your eyeball. And, like, it just stings your eye, and you gotta wash it out, and then it's fine, thank God. But then you see some spots in your vision, and that gets your heart racing a little, because how are you gonna explain to your mom and your dad and your godparents that you were blinded by your own Kaminari? Say another word, and you're expelled.
The task at hand was not without its challenges, Shouta says simply, because imparting knowledge of what he went through could surely be considered psychological abuse.
But believe me when I say that my students left the lecture significantly more prepared than they had been beforehand.
Principal Nezu sighs and leans back in his chair, stroking his chin thoughtfully. Therein lies an issue, Aizawa, he murmurs. According to Recovery Girl's extremely illuminating write-up of the lecture, Class 2A's overall knowledge of sexual health, or lack thereof, was concerning. In particular, she raised questions as to how well equipped they would be to handle the facts of childbirth and infancy once they entered the real world. According to her, the curriculum-approved childbirth video that she presented to your class was met with some rather extreme reactions. Shouta very carefully didn't mention that the next day, Todoroki had approached him after homeroom to quietly ask him where storks became involved in the childhood process. Or the fact that, upon a routine inspection of the dorms the week prior, he'd been confronted with the sight of Bakugo silently watching a childbirth scene on a reality medical show in the common area.
He's been watching these non-stop since Recovery Girl's lecture, sir, a haunted-sounding Kirishima had confided. He's been making me watch them with him before bed every night, which is kind of a bummer because that's when we usually watch reruns of the Royal Rumble, but instead I'm having to go off to Snoozeville with images in my head of, like, screaming and stirrups and epidurals and C-sections and breech births and... As if on cue, a guttural shriek ripped from the throat of the woman on screen. Bakugo's expression remained placid, except for the tiniest of nods as he continues to be absorbed by the program. "Do you know about what they do with the placenta?" Kirishima croaked. "Katsuki told me." Another agonized wail from the TV screen. "How could someone eat that, bro?" Kirishima whispered. "Aizawa-san," Principal Nedzu continues, bulldozing through Shota's cursed reverie. "After some discussions with Recovery Girl, we have agreed that it would be wise to pick up where we left off with Class 2A Sexual Health Education." Shota's blood turns to ice. "No." "Indeed, there are significant gaps in their understanding that we believe are worth filling sooner rather than later during their time at UA. Particularly as your students are so active in their work studies and out on the field, there may soon be a time in which they must interact with civilians who are at their most vulnerable age." "Are you saying," Shouta begins, his thought process choking the words out before they have a chance to leave his throat. Nedzu's smile spreads across his furry bastard features like melted butter. "Recovery Girl should be on her way now with the lesson plans and necessary equipment," the principal says cheerily. There is a jaunty little knock of the door, like the Grim Reaper rapping at the fringes of sanity itself. "I'm going to fucking die," Shouta says out loud. Class 2A-O, 7:13 a.m. Tenya Ida. "Attention classmates! I have received a message from Aizawa-sensei to notify you all that we will be having a special lecture this morning in place of our usual homeroom. Please arrive on time and be prepared to take notes." "And who changed the group chat name again? It is highly inappropriate to alter class-wide communications without consulting myself or Yayorozu first." Denki Calamari. Oh snap. Bones go burr. "Thanks for letting us know, Ida." Tenya Ida. "You're welcome, Midoriya." Discount Spider-Man. "Another special class?" Yao Mamo. "I wonder what it could be this time." Invisibitch. "Guys, do you think it could be another sex ed lesson?" Punk's not dead. I hope the fuck not. Sugar Titties. Same. Discount Spider-Man. Same. Uwawaka. Same. Kermit. Same, Ribbit. Invisibitch. Same. Tailboy. Same. Denki Calamari. Same. Alien Queen. Same. Ebony Darkness Dementia Ravenway. Truly a mad banquet of darkness. Zuko. I don't know. I found it quite informative. Alien Queen. Only because you found out that storks don't deliver babies. Zuko. That is true, yes. Alien Queen. Sweet boy. Denki Calamari. No thoughts, head empty, no choice but to stand our Toto. Zuko. Question mark. Bones go burr. I'll tell you what it means later, Todoroki. Zuko. Thank you. Tailboy. When I close my eyes, I still see Recovery Girl slamming purple dildos onto our desks. Denki Calamari. Whatever, Ojiro, man. You do you. Discount Spider-Man. Yeah, dude. Whatever floats your boat. Tailboy. Shut up. That's not what I meant. Discount Spider-Man. Relax, bro. We don't kink shame here. Alien Queen. Ojiro, sweetie, have you got it bad for Recovery Girl? Invisibitch. Question mark. Tailboy. I'm tired. I'm leaving. Invisibitch. Babe, wait. Denki Calamari. Yeah, wait, babe. Discount Spider-Man. Babe. Denki Calamari. Babe. Discount Spider-Man. Exclamation point. Babe. Denki Calamari. Uwu. Babe. Uwu. Mother Hen. What the fuck is going on here? Discount Spider-Man. Dude, have you only just gotten up? This is a bit late for you, isn't it? Knuckles. Sorry, we overslept. He kept me up late last night. Denki Calamari. Oh? Discount Spider-Man. Oh? Alien Queen. Oh? Knuckles. Wait, no, not like that. Keyboard smash. Mother Hen. Fuck off, you fucking useless snail scum shit stains. Get your fucking minds out of the gutter. Knuckles. What he means to say is we were watching a TV show. Bones go burr. What were you watching, Kachan? Mother Hen. None of your goddamn business. Knuckles. One born every minute. It's a British documentary series set in a childbirth ward. Uwawaka. Oh, Kiri. Knuckles. Crying emoji. Uwawaka. Poor soul. Baku needs to stop forcing you to watch this stuff. Knuckles. Don't get me wrong, childbirth is manly as fuck, but to be honest, I never want to watch another Caesarean on TV ever again. Denki Calamari. Look how they've massacred my boy. Knuckles. Kotsky, babe, can't we watch the Royal Rumble again? Please? Mother Hen. No. Knuckles. Crying emoji. Denki Calamari. You're a sick freak, aren't you, Gachan? Mother Hen. Glad you volunteered, Pikachu. You're dying first today. Denki Calamari. Please, no, don't kill me. Mother Hen. Start running. Tenya Ida. I implore you all to please put your phones down and get ready for class. You must leave with haste if you plan on arriving on time. Uwawaka. Sorry, Ida. We'll all be there on time. Ebony Darkness Dementia Ravenway. Revelry in the dark. Punk's not dead. Dude, what is your damage? You've got to be kidding. Ashido says it so urgently, so desperately, that even a tiny part of the filleted carcass that remains of Shota's soul twists in sympathy. His student's golden eyes meet his, wild and horrified. Indeed, her expression is mirrored tenfold by the rest of her peers in his homeroom class, some of whom appear on the brink of psychological malfunction as they stare at the offending item perched on Shota's desk. Sir, Ashido begs again. Please, no. Shouta allows his weakness to get the better of him, just this once, as a treat, and follows the gazes of his soon-to-be communally traumatized students. Positioned on his desk is a baby doll worthy of admittance into the Cabbage Patch Kid canon. Glassy and lifeless eyes, rosy pinched cheeks, dimples so profound they could be battle scars, a belly button that is firmly in the outie camp. A perfunctionary diaper is wrapped around its posterior and pelvis, and its arms are raised and outstretched in a frozen grabby motion. This, Shouta begins, is a baby. Oh God, Zero breathes. This can't be happening, Jiro wheezes. Or as close to a real-life baby as we could provide at this school. Shouta perseveres, because if he stops, he may well burst into tears. A computer-powered model replica developed by the support course, with fully functioning vocal sounds and other functions. Aoyama quivers like jello in his seat. Sato violently bites his nails. Koda gibbers something under his breath to the mouse in his pocket. As far as you'll be concerned for the next 2 weeks, Shouta states, this baby will be your own child. A cavernous silence fills the room, Uraraka slowly, timidly, raises her hand. As in, she says uncertainly, we'll take it in turns to look after this one baby?
Oh, you poor, naive youngling, Shouta muses. In pairs, he says hollowly instead. You will be assigned a doll to take care of. This doll will be monitoring your interactions with it at all times, gathering data that will be collected and evaluated once the assignment is complete. You must look after your child to the best of your ability across the upcoming fortnight. That means feeding it, bathing it, caring for it at night, changing its diaper. It will be your task to interpret its needs and act accordingly, alongside your co-parent.
He glances at the students before him. Almost every single one has paled considerably. The only exceptions are Bakugo, who looks like he's on the verge of committing grievous bodily harm, and Todoroki, who's staring at the doll as though he's genuinely never seen a baby before in his life.
Recovery Girl and I will be co-assessing your results at the end of this assignment, Shouta persists. Should you fail, you will be forced to attend a month-long remedial course every day after classes that Recovery Girl has named Sexual Health 101.
Someone, somewhere, lets out a whimper.
I will allow you to choose your own pairs,
Shouta mutters, wriggling his sleeping bag further and further up his legs.
Because, frankly, I don't want to do it myself. You have 10 minutes. Get it over with.
But sir, Yaoyorozu says urgently, her hand shooting up in the air. Minetta's been suspended since our last health class. We've got an odd number of students, haven't we? Shouta, who has managed to almost entirely encase himself in the blessed darkness of his sleeping bag, stares back at her languidly.
Never fear, he drawls. We've found a luckless replacement.
When Hitoshi Shinso steps foot into Class 2A only minutes later, he is met with a sea of blanched white faces staring despairingly at a demonic baby doll sat on Aizawa-sensei's desk. He blinks once, twice, wonders if the dehydration is finally catching up to him. Maybe he shouldn't have shotgunned 3 consecutive espressos before he left for class this morning.
Hello, Shinzo.
The welcome is muffled by the sleeping bag currently zipped shut over Aizawa-sensei's face.
Hello, sir, Hitoshi greets. Quick question, what the hell?
Run, Shinso, Kaminari hisses.
Run while you still can.
A long, low scratching sound echoes through the room as Aizawa-sensei unzips his quilted prison. He pokes his gray, stubbled face out, eyes swimming with what Hitoshi can only describe as pure angst.
Remember what I said about potential extra credit that could be added onto your transfer application into the hero course? His mentor asks.
Hitoshi looks at the baby doll on the desk, into its hollow, dead eyes. A bead of sweat forms on his temple.
So, Aizawa drones. Welcome to extra credit. I should have stayed in general studies, Hitoshi decides out loud.
10 pairs of students, or parents, leave class that day, filtering out into the corridor and burdened both with a bundle of joy and crushing despair. The members of Class 2A had chosen their partners in a hollow state of shock, many still praying to whichever deity may be listening in that they were experiencing a momentary glitch in the Matrix. That surely fate could not be so cruel to their class after the shitty hand it had already dealt them countless times in the past.
I guess we should have seen this coming,
Jiro sighs as Yaoyorozu nervously rocks their baby to quell the tinny robotic mules it is already making.
We did kind of make ourselves look like complete jackasses during sex ed. Yeah, we at least brought this on ourselves, Kaminari groans.
We? You asked Aizawa-sensei if you could be blinded by your own cum shot, Ashido hisses, holding her and Sero's baby upside down in her arms. If anyone's to blame for this, it's you and your dumbassery.
Hey, it's a legit question, and it was purely hypothetical.
It was.
That's not fair to Danks, Mina, Sero sighs. And really, it's Kiri and Bakugo's fault for not being able to keep their gross hormonal hands to themselves for 5 minutes.
The fuck was that, soy sauce face? I don't think Todoroki's everything helped our case either, Ribbit, Asui adds solemnly. Several accusatory pairs of eyes instantly zero in on the offending boy and his candy cane hair. He blinks back at them.
Was it the peeing thing? He asks quietly. Anyway,
Kaminari interjects. I guess we can all agree that we all did something to deserve karma smiting us in this way. He glances sympathetically over at his partner for the assignment. But Shinso, dude, I feel for you. All you did was show up to class. You should have run when I told you. God is dead, Shinso mutters as he jostles their whining infant. Bet this was Recovery Girl's idea, Ojiro grumbles, his invisible co-parent currently occupied with interpreting their baby's fussing. Don't let her sweet little old lady act fool you. Underneath all that, she's an unrelenting sadist.
Mashiro, babe, what do you think it needs?
Hagakure asks uncertainly. Their baby's fussing has now progressed from gurgles into threatening whines. I don't know. Is it hungry?
Hey, are you hungry?
The baby's not gonna answer you, Tor. What the fuck are you doing, Ichiro? Gachon's doomed, Midoriya mumbles. Come on, Gatsuki, no need to be... Kirishima begins, forcefully patting their baby on the back. That thing is gonna pass or fail us on this stupid assignment, asshole! Bakugo screams. What are you doing just pummeling it like that? Bro, chill, I'm burping it. Huh? I don't know, it was crying, so I thought it might need burping. You call that violent shit burping? It's a baby, not a punching bag. Hey, it's cool. I used to do this for my little sis all the time. I'm a pro. Does your sister have a fucking concave spine? You've met her, babe. You know she doesn't. Give me that, Bakugo snaps, snatching the baby from Kirishima's grasp. I will not allow your brute himbo strength to massacre my grade point average. This, at least, will be interesting, Asui croaks as Bakugo begins to pat his and Kirishima's baby on the back with a paradoxical mix of tenderness and fury. Araraka hums beside her and tickles their baby under its chin. It becomes abundantly clear that out of all the students of Class 2A, only a handful of them have any experience whatsoever in looking after infants. The majority of the class either has no siblings or are the youngest in their immediate families, and so have never had to chase after spewing rugrats whilst they were growing up. Furthermore, the added twist of having to co-parent alongside one of their fellow classmates throws a lot of questions in the air. Would they be assessed individually or as a pair? And if it were to be the latter, how many of them had unintentionally completely screwed themselves over with their choice of partner? Within minutes of arriving back at the dorms, the reluctant new parents take themselves off to strategize how they will care for their battery-powered babe. Yaoyorozu looks both saintly and smug as she designs a meal plan for her and Jiro's child. Midoriya mumbles feverishly under his breath as he makes deranged scrawls in one of his many fanboy notebooks, whilst Todoroki watches and does precisely nothing to help. Within an hour, Ida has constructed an intense weekly regimen for the care and upkeep of his and Aoyama's child, complete with color coding and with each hour of the day accounted for. Aoyama himself is noticeably absent from this process, though he is discovered not an hour later in the boys' bathroom by Shoji, giving himself a panicked pep talk in jittery French. Mostly, though, the much-encumbered members of Class 2A spend their first evening of unwilled parenthood in a liminal state of both fear and mania, trying desperately to quell the shrieks and bodily functions of their robotic newborns. That's right, bodily functions. How is it doing this? It doesn't even have a stomach! Sato sputters, his and Koda's baby having just gleefully barfed all over the kitchen counter. Doesn't the support course have anything better to invest their energy in? Where the hell did they find the time to design these little... His statement is cut off by a shriek as their baby spews up again. Koda looks on the verge of dissociation, squeezing his rabbit so close to his chest that one could fear for its respiratory system. The baby gives a metallic giggle, a smile still fixed on its dead features. This must be payback for all the times we bothered them with last-minute costume adjustments, Kirishima sighs, laying his and Bakugo's baby on its back on one of the dining tables. Like, geez, I'm sorry if I added sleeves because I wanted to look less bondagey. Kiri, you can't seriously believe you look less bondagey now, Kaminari pipes up, bouncing his baby on his knee as Shinso sips some macchiato and stares into the void. Yeah, I added sleeves. And now you're just wearing shirtless sleeves. Shirtless sleeves? Kirishima whispers, distraught. I thought... Excuse me. Several pairs of eyes turn their attention to Todoroki, who, terrifyingly, has been left alone with his and Midoriya's baby. Todoroki blinks his heterochromatic eyes and gently points a solitary finger towards the table. It appears our child has a leak. AKA, it is violently urinating everywhere. By the time Midoriya returns from his bathroom break, everyone else in the room has had ample time to curse the support course for managing to make robot baby piss that pungent. Katsuki, is my hero costume really just shirtless sleeves? Yup. Bro, you fucking said it, not me. Now shut up or I'm never gonna get this brat's ass wiped. Shinso strolls into the kitchen for his traditional 3 a.m. insomnia snack, grizzling robot baby in tow, only to have his heart fall out of his ass when he discovers it occupied by almost half the class. Midoriya, Todoroki, Yaoyorozu, Jiro, Uraraka, Ojiro, Sato, Shoji. All present and correct and looking absolutely murderous. Nice to see you all at Hitoshi hours, he tells the assortment of exhausted faces. Even Shoji's eye bags are visible. It won't stop crying, Jiro grits out. Yaoyorozu appears locked in a trance state, eyes blank as she rocks their cantankerous hellspawn child in her arms. A gentle snorting sound has Shinso glancing over at Midoriya and Todoroki, who are sat side by side. Midoriya's head is nodding, slipping in and out of a doze while simultaneously tickling their baby's head. Todoroki seems to be there for moral support alone, expression unplaceable and sipping on a carton of chocolate milk. Across from them, Uraraka is fully passed out, face down on the kitchen table, her baby's mechanized whines going unnoticed. Kaminari lumped you with the demon for the night, Ojiro mumbles, glaring distastefully at the doll in his lap like it slapped his mother. I offered, Shinso answers, shrugging. How noble. Nah. Means I get to use it as mileage for later on. Next time this savage shits its guts out, that's his problem. Ojiro blinks at him. Holy shit. That's not a bad idea. Damn right. Shinso smirks, sauntering over to the coffee machine he's about to make his bitch. Okay, get your orders in. I'm feeling generous. Homeroom class is remarkably subdued the next morning. Shouta doesn't have to raise his voice once to get them all to shut up, as each of them is too exhausted, physically and morally, to do anything other than sit and gaze into the abyss. Huh. Maybe this assignment won't be as bad as I expected, he thinks to himself. Then the baby in Sato's lap promptly throws up all over his desk. The boy doesn't even seem to notice, blinking dazedly. Or not. Tokoyami, of all people, is the first to saddle a baby with a name. The majority of the class had initially sworn against it, too disgruntled with the foul mistress of destiny to entertain the notion. Once the first couple of days had passed, however, and the dust around the preliminary shock of it all had settled, some of Class 2A were seemingly starting to acknowledge their babies less like a deeply personal moral offense. None had thus far admitted aloud to choosing a name to go with the simpering dolly face. That is, until the third night of the assignment. Shoji and Tokoyami are sitting silently, the former tending to their baby's gurgles with stoic rocking and quiet murmurs of, "Go to sleep, go to sleep." Come on, Tokoyami murmurs, closing his copy of Breaking Dawn. I'll look after him tonight. Shoji pauses. Him? Tokoyami's avian eyes give frustratingly little away, other than an impassive blink. Yes. Some strain of madness overtook me in the black of night that whispered to me that our child was male. Huh, Shoji thinks. Fucking weirdo. If you don't mind, Tokoyami continues, I believe I have also selected a name befitting our son. What is it? Shoji asks quietly. Tokoyami blinks again, his gaze deadly serious. I wanted to commemorate the greatest heroes I have ever known, he says steadily. In homage to the artists and creators who saw me through many a cruel moonlight and proved to me that there was worth in even my nihilistic, decrepit soul. A pause. Also because Dark Shadow told me it was cool. You tell him, Fumi! Dark Shadow squawks from somewhere. Tokoyami takes a deep, reverent breath and gazes into their son's eyes with as much emotion as he can probably muster. This is for you, he chokes. Gerard Billy Joe Evanescence Williams. Early on in the fourth day of their assignment, Midoriya is out on his daily morning jog. Todoroki had been saddled with looking after their baby for the night, and Midoriya hadn't quite yet found the courage to check in as to whether their doll, and thereby their grade, is still in one piece or not. We should name it, Todoroki had said quietly the night before. I heard Tokoyami and Shoji have named theirs. Midoriya nodded, more focused on wrapping the diaper around their baby's midsection. Yeah, sure. I guess we could. Do you think Bakugo and Kirishima have named theirs? I don't know. Our name needs to be better. We don't even know if they have named it. Todoroki was quiet for a few long moments. Midoriya could practically hear the cogs turning in that spearmint toothpaste head of his. We should name it after your father, he mused. Really? Yes, All Might Jr. He should have just suggested soba and called it quits, Midoriya huffs, sweat pouring steadily down his brow as he picks up his pace. In the distance, Midoriya spots what appears to be Uraraka, jogging toward him from the other direction. He smiles and good-naturedly raises a hand, preparing to wave excitedly at her. Then he looks up and freezes. Hey, Deku! Uraraka pants as she jogs up towards him. I see you're still on top of your fitness regime as ever. Hey, Uraraka, Midoriya stammers, glancing up nervously just above Uraraka's head. I see you're adapting too? Yep, Uraraka beams, proudly raising the fist that has a leash clenched inside it. Sue and I thought it'd be great to set a good example for our baby. Midoriya's gaze follows the leash as it floats upward instead of abiding to the typical laws of gravity. His eyes fix on where its length finishes, attached to a harness that currently holds Uraraka and Asui's baby, and the only force protecting it from floating off into the upper solar system. Yeah, Midoriya says finally. Cool. Later, when he is on his evening jog and spots Asui submerging that same baby in the scum-filled pond round the back of Heights Alliance, Midoriya promptly runs in the other direction. Is that? Hagakure gasps. A stroller? Ojiro glances to his left. Sure enough, Yaoyorozu and Jiro are gliding side by side through the common area, the former pushing along the most extravagant and ornate baby stroller that has ever been witnessed in human history. A satisfied smirk is visibly painted across Jiro's face, one that radiates, yeah, that's right, we're better than you, and you know it. Did Yaoyorozu make that? Ojiro hisses. Probably, Hagakure sighs, rocking their baby. Or maybe she had it commissioned. Either way, she's one loaded mama. On the other side of the room, Katsuki Bakugo watches his two classmates smugly perambulating their child's pimped new wheels with the fury of 1,000 dying suns blazing in his eyes. Fuck that, he spits, angrily digging his phone out of his pocket. Like hell I'm gonna let them win. I'm gonna buy the most kick-ass stroller anyone's ever fucking seen. Yeah, I'm gonna parent so good they'll be begging for mercy. That doesn't make any sense, babe, Kirishima mumbles half-heartedly as he tries to negotiate a feeding bottle into the baby Katsuro's mouth, the name a compromise after Bakugo's suggestion of bazooka was vetoed. In the near distance, Todoroki's eyes fix on Bakugo's form and narrow ever so slightly. Perhaps most disturbingly of all, Kaminari proves to be one of the most adept in the entire class at this whole caring for and nurturing a crying, spewing infant shindig. How is this fair? Ashido moans, watching as Kaminari expertly relieves his baby of its diaper and pulls out a clean one in a single swift motion. You're meant to be a dumbass too, you dumbass? Why are you letting your people down, huh? I used to babysit for some neighbors back in middle school, Kaminari explains, whipping out a wet wipe and unflinchingly dabbing it against the soiled plastic posterior. I couldn't afford some Air Jordans I wanted, so I had to save up the money somehow. He begins to wrap the new diaper around his baby with a practiced flourish that has Ashido shooting envious daggers at him with her eyes. So yeah, Kaminari grins. All that puke cleaning and rattle waving paid off, 'cause now I'm a genius at this stuff. Shinzo really lucked out getting me as a partner, huh? Speaking of, where is he? On a walk. I think he's trying to lure feral cats into the building again. Kaminari dismisses. Hey, does your baby need changing? Now that I've got this stuff out. Ashido and Sero exchange a look. We're good, thanks, Sero says eventually, very slowly and very carefully. Ashido nods along vigorously. Kaminari raises an eyebrow. Okay. You sure? Yeah, it's all good. Sero laughs nervously. The baby, it's fine. It pooped earlier. Yeah, that's right, Ashido adds, a noticeable choke in her voice. It pooped, so much. I don't think it'll need to shit again for days.
Well, if you say so, Kaminari relents, reaching out for the bundle on Sero's knee. But it'd be good to change the diaper anyway some point soon, 'cause that's how they get a rat. Sero suddenly whips the baby off of his knee before Kaminari can reach it, nearly launching himself off of his chair in the process. "Don't touch it!" he screeches, as he tries to prevent his forward momentum from resulting in a faceplant. Kaminari stares. "What the fuck was that?" It's, Sero utters, sweat visibly beading on his face. Well...
It's nap time,
Ashido chimes in desperately.
We've carefully designed a strict sleeping plan for our beloved child that we're really, really keen for it to stick to. Right, Hanta?
Right, Sero rasps. Speaking of, it's probably time we put it to bed now. Right, Mina?
Boy howdy, is that the time?
Ashido babbles, glancing at a non-existent watch on her wrist.
Gee, we'd better let our dear offspring catch up on some beauty rest. Off we go!
With that, Ashido latches onto Sero's arm and forcibly drags him off his chair, laughing maniacally as they make their escape. And they say I'm the dumbass, Kaminari grumbles. Class 2 AO, 6:21 p.m. Punk's not dead. Would someone mind telling me why I can see a wild black bear with a baby tied to its back frolicking in the field outside my window? Denki calamari. Say what now? Sugar titties. Don't worry, Jiro. Koda said he'd look after our baby while I was making dinner. Snow White. Smiley emoji. Punk's not dead. Your child is currently attached to a wild bear. Sugar titties. Yeah, but Koda had a chat with it, and it's totally cool to play with Thumper for a while. Tenya Ida. I would still strongly advise everyone that they avoid venturing outdoors until Sato has finished in the kitchen. Invisibitch.
Thumper?
Discount Spider-Man. I'm guessing that's its name? Invisibitch.
Well, isn't that precious?
Snow White. Smiley face emoji, sparkle emoji. Denki calamari. Okay, but is no one else freaking the fuck out over the fact that there are apparently bears on our campus? Bakugo comes to a halt in the corridor as he stares down the figure walking towards him from the other direction. His carmine eyes narrow, hands clenching the handles of his new baby stroller, with custom hand-painted flame designs on the wheels, thank you very much, so hard that his knuckles blanch. Shoto Todoroki stares right back at him, his expression deceivingly placid as he continues nonchalantly advancing forwards. As he is about to pass Bakugo by, he slows down just enough for the homicidal blonde to get a good, long look at his brand new set of wheels. Baby Midoriya Todoroki's transportation could only be described as absolutely bitchin'. A luxurious Balmoral design that represents the pinnacle of baby vehicle craftsmanship. Complete with elegant shining silver handlebars and lined with sumptuous cotton for maximum comfort, this is evident as being perhaps the finest stroller that Endeavor's credit card can buy. Todoroki's mask of cool indifference slips only for a mere moment as he slows to a halt at Bakugo's side. The silence of their nail-biting standoff is deafening in the atmosphere around them, broken only when Todoroki opens his mouth and murmurs, "Smells like broke over here," and then continues on his way. Later, Kirishima has to talk Bakugo down from exploding all of Todoroki's soba packages in the kitchen with his bare hands. 6:47 p.m. Ashido Mina to Yaoyorozu Momo. Mina.
Hey, Momo, my friend, my buddy, my gal.
Momo. How can I help? Smiley face. Mina.
If I were to ask for you to use your quirk to create, I don't know, a fully functioning small humanoid robot capable of mimicking simplistic bodily functions and gathering data, could you do it?
Momo. Why do you ask? Mina. Keyboard smash.
Nothing. God, why are you so pushy? Calm down. It's nothing. Just a question. It's hypothetical, okay? Thanks, bye. Good night.
Momo. Mina? Mina?
Aoyama, I know we have had our clashes when it comes to the proper care and nurturing of our child,
and I have been as understanding to our inherent differences as parents and guardians. But this I cannot possibly overlook. We have been tasked with raising this innocent as if it were our own offspring, and so it is absolutely imperative that we treat its care with as much respect as we can possibly muster. This goes far beyond what we as lawful guardians should be doing for our child. This is negligence in the highest order. May I remind you that I, as the elected representative of Class 2A, it is well within my right to— No, Monsieur Ida. Now our petit garçon is très magnifique. This gross violation of the ethics of parenthood could hardly constitute as magnifique.
What's Press blowing his engines over? Kaminari hisses to Jiro, who is watching the debacle unfold with vague amusement. Ayama put a chemical foot peel mask on their baby. Kaminari blinks once, then shrugs and goes back to sipping his Pocari sweat. Seems legit.
I don't care if you thought Tensei 2's arches were looking a little chapped, because need I remind you that he is a robot and therefore has no need for you to barbarically attack his feet with—
Finished, Tokoyami announces as he twists the black cap on his black nail polish shut. What do you think? Shoji takes a good, long look at little Gerard Billy Joe Evanescence Williams, at his empty glass eyes that are now lined with heavy kohl, at the astonishing number of silver chains draped around its thick baby neck, at the miniature raven-black wig plonked on its head with bangs haphazardly snipped into vague symmetry, at the blood-red t-shirt it now sports that is emblazoned with the Fallout Boy logo.
I have some thoughts, Shoji starts.
Sero Hanta to Kirishima Eijiro, 5:11 p.m. Hanta.
Yo, Kiri. Me and Mina were wondering if you have yours and Baku's kid with you right now.
Eijiro. Nah, bro. Katz is taking him to do some baby water aerobics in the school pool. Hanta.
What?
Eijiro.
Yeah, he read about it online after he saw Todoroki was doing some mat exercises with his. Ugh, he's such a good dad. It's so manly.
Hanta.
Ew. Okay, fine, whatever.
Eijiro.
Why?
Hanta.
No reason.
Eijiro.
Are you good, bro?
Hanta.
Everything is fine.
Smiley face. Eijiro.
I'm so confused.
Hanta.
Everything,
Smiley face.
is,
Smiley face.
fine.
Smiley face. Eijiro. ...
All right then.
It sure was nice of Yamomo to make this stroller for us, Uraraka chirps, pushing the baby alongside Asui in the blazing sun. Although I do wonder if Hako-chan is maybe getting less fresh air than she was before when I would make her float. Midoriya-kun had a point, though, Asui reasons. It sure wouldn't reflect well on us if you were to accidentally let go and have Hako-chan float off into space, Ribbit. Yeah, Uraraka sighs. Plus, having her get motion sick wasn't ideal either. Having the stroller does take that pressure off. Even if Bakugo and Todoroki's feud over theirs is kinda getting in the way of being able to fully enjoy it. To be honest, I think that personalized number plate Bakugo got was taking it a step too far. It's his own fault that he spent all his allowance now, Ribbit. Oh, is that why he's been eating white rice and chili flakes these last couple of days? Hey, Uraraka, Sui, Hagakure calls excitedly, the movement of her sleeves indicating her to be waving at them enthusiastically. Beside her, Ojiro offers a jaunty little wave, his other hand firmly clasped in his girlfriend's. Hi, guys, Uraraka squeals, waving back just as eagerly. Where have you been? Mashiro took me out on a date, Hagakure sighs. We went to this amazing European-style garden right in the city center. Oh, it was so perfect. What about your baby, Ribbit? Asui inquires. I thought we weren't allowed to leave it unsupervised. Hagakure giggles. Of course we didn't, silly. Before Asui has a chance to open her mouth, Ojiro turns around to present them with the unholy sight of their dead-eyed baby tied firmly to the base of his tail.
We got the idea from Koda and that wild bear,
Ojiro explains. Neat, right? Hagakure sings. Yeah, that's something, Uraraka says uncertainly, a wobbly smile fixed on her face.
How are you able to quell the motion sickness? Asui probes, rising a finger to her chin. The couple before them freezes. Motion sickness? Ojiro repeats steadily. Not that he has much of a chance to dwell on this revelation once his passenger spews chunks all over the soft fur of his tail. They beg Yaoyorozu to make them a stroller not an hour later. Class 2AO, 9:03 a.m. Mother Hen. Which of you fucking useless reptiles is stealing all of our baby formula? Our baby needs nutrition, you goddamn numbskulls. Get your own. Bones go burr. Suddenly the nickname is appropriate. Mother Hen. Say that again, Deku. Bones go burr. Nope, no thank you. Zuko. No one wants those nasty chemicals you feed that poor defenseless child. Mother Hen. Yours and Deku's kid is about to become an orphan. Danky Calamari. Wait, so Toto, how the fuck do you feed your baby? Is it natural? Discount Spider-Man. To think I could have lived a long and happy life without having the image of Todoroki lactating in my brain. Zuko. Question mark. Bones go burr. I'll explain what it means later. Zuko. Thumbs up emoji. Shouta doesn't know what he resents more. Hizashi snoring, or his students calling his personal number in the dead of night. Someone had better have been kidnapped, he hisses, throat crackly with now elusive sleep.
Hypothetically,
Shinso drawls by way of greeting.
if I were to use my quirk to helpfully suggest to my dearest offspring that it would be wise to go the fuck to sleep sooner rather than later, could that reflect badly on my scores for this assignment?
There is a heavy pause as Shota's muddled brain tries to process the ludicrousness of what it's just heard. Shinzo, he explains slowly, that won't work. It's a robot. A silence from the other end.
So it is,
Shinzo says eventually. Shota rubs a despairing hand down his face and recalls one of the breathing techniques his therapist taught him. Just how much coffee have you had? He grits out.
Shh, don't worry about it.
The teen hangs up before Shota can probe further. Who's that? A half-asleep Hizashi mumbles, leaning in closer to nuzzle against Shota's back. My last brain cell being cracked in two like a feeble pistachio. That's kind of fucked up, Sho.
Are you kidding me?
A female voice hisses.
That's not gonna fool anyone.
Sato stops and turns to look at Zero's bedroom door. It's ever so slightly ajar, a soft light glowing from within. If he didn't know any better, that was Ashido speaking just now.
Hey, give me a break here. At least I'm trying,
Zero whispers agitatingly back. Sato frowns. It's well past curfew now, so technically speaking, they shouldn't be mixing with other floors in their dorm. Technically being the operative word, since people have been in and out of each other's dorm rooms like yo-yos ever since this stupid assignment started. Nevertheless, Sato knows that if Ida catches Zero and Ashido making noise this late at night, then he's likely to give them a good bitching for it. Thus, he decides to be a good dorm neighbor and advise them to keep their voices down a little. Only when he approaches the crack in Zero's door and peeks inside, he's met with a sight that will be forever burned into his retinas until the day his tired soul yeets itself from this mortal coil. Zero and Ashido appear to be hunched over a hideous, misshapen lump, illuminated solely by lamplight. This abomination is being wrapped in absurd amounts of what seems to be Zero's elbow tape, and the boy is in the process of scrawling an ugly smile on its sticky, knobbly surface using a Sharpie.
That's not a child, that's the alien baby that tried to kill Sigourney Weaver and her cat,
Ashido spits. Fine, why don't you do it then?
If you had just stolen Kiri's like I had suggested.
Do you really think that Bakugo wouldn't hunt us down and use our bones for ramen stock if we did that? Guys? Sato interrupts weakly. The pair immediately quiet and whip around to stare at him, their eyes wide and frozen in dumb shock. He continues. I just wanted to let you know that I can hear you out in the hall. You don't want Ida on your asses. There is a tense stillness as Zero and Ashido stare at Sato, and Sato tries to stare at anything else but the deformed, sticky monstrosity at the center of the room. Okay, Thanks, Zero says eventually, easing himself to his feet. Ashido immediately lurches forward, diving to cover whatever the fuck that was with her body. No problem, Sato replies faintly. Zero is walking casually closer to the door, and the two boys' eyes meet for a long, long moment. Guys, Sato whispers, what are you doing in there? Zero pins him with a loaded, cryptid stare. You saw nothing, he hisses and slams the door shut with quiet violence. Sato supposes that, in his case, ignorance is probably bliss. What the fuck are you doing? The indignant screech coming from the stairwell rips through almost every floor in the dorms, filling the building from top to bottom with Bakugo's unbridled rage. Business as usual. Katsuki, cool your blasters, it's all good. This is your definition of good? Do you want to kill our child, Eijiro? You're taking this way too seriously, man. Everything's fine, we were just having a bit of fun. You threw Katsuro down the fucking stairs! Now you're exaggerating. For one, he was in my laundry basket, and I didn't throw him, I just gave him a push. What is wrong with you? Why are you acting like this is anything but attempted infanticide? Chill, man. My parents used to do this with me all the time when I was a kid. I thought it'd be fun to get our little man in on the tradition. You have a goddamn hardening quirk, you stupid fungus. Your parents may as well tossed a boulder down their staircase. Honestly, babe, I had it all under control. I'm sorry for worrying you. Shut up! I wasn't worried. What did we say about you going all tsundere, cats? Just, you... Ugh, fuck off! If I catch you doing this shit one more time, then I'm not going anywhere near your dick ever again. Babe, please, not in front of the little one. Class 2 AO, 11:47 p.m. Denki Calamari. Is anyone else kind of bummed that we're gonna have to give our babies back tomorrow morning? Denki Calamari. Like, after the assignment finishes tomorrow, we're no longer parents. Frowny face. Punk's not dead. Sucks to be you then, I guess. Denki Calamari. Come on, Jiro, have a heart. Tenya Ida. I must admit, these past 2 weeks have been challenging, but it will certainly have helped prepare us for the reality of parenthood and prove indispensable once we are on the field. Tenya Ida. Also, it's late. Go to bed. Twinkle, twinkle. Our fair child will be the most brilliant shining light the world has ever seen. Sugar titties. Yeah, I think me and Koda are gonna miss our little thumper. Snow White. Crying emoji. Yao Mamo. It certainly feels strange that those babies won't be a part of our lives anymore from tomorrow. It feels a bit silly saying that, though. Uwawaka. I get it, Yamamo. Me and Sue are gonna miss Hako-chan. Crying emoji. Mother hen. Hako-chan probably won't miss getting floated up into the fucking stratosphere. Denki Calamari. Look at Ka-chan, hiding his true feelings behind that angry rodent mask of his. Mother hen. I'll kick your fucking head in, Pikachu. Denki Calamari. We all know you're so soft for your baby boy. And your baby daddy. Winky face. Punk's not dead. Gross. Knuckles. Cats, you are kind of clinging onto little Katsuro as we speak. Mother hen. I'm fucking rocking him to sleep. Knuckles. You're so sweet. Mother hen. You're in the same room as me. What are you doing? Come help me. Knuckles. Oh, right. Denki Calamari. Help. They fucking? They fucking. Punk's not dead. Gross. Invisibitch. Their poor son. Denki Calamari. Hey, at Shinzo Hitoshi, are you gonna miss our child? Depresso. No. Denki Calamari. Why? Frowny face. Depresso. Babies are hellspawn. After tomorrow, I will finally sleep. Invisibitch. Shinzo, sweetie, you never sleep anyway. Depresso. I know, but I'm trying to manifest it.
Denki Calamari.
Wow, so my co-parent doesn't care for our own flesh and blood.
Depresso.
It is literally a robot.
Denki Calamari.
If you ever changed a single diaper, you would not be calling our progeny literally a robot.
Depresso.
That's literally what it is.
Denki Calamari. Suddenly, I cannot read. Bones go burr.
To answer your question, Kaminari, Todoroki and I are definitely gonna miss Aiko-chan. We've really grown quite fond of her. Broken heart emoji.
Uwawaka. That Aunt Toto has spent a lot of his dad's credit card on her threads.
Zuko. Mostly the stroller.
Uwawaka. How much was it? Zuko.
If I tell you, you will pass out on the floor.
Uwawaka. Understandable. Carry on. Denki Calamari.
Well, this is it, gang. The end of an era.
Punk's not dead.
2 weeks.
Denki Calamari.
Shut. Also, is it just me, or are Sero and Mina being weirdly quiet right now? This is usually dumbass hours time on the group chat.
Discount Spider-Man.
Hello, yes, we are here, all good, nothing to worry about, nothing untoward going on at all.
Alien Queen. Yeah, here we are, nothing strange, nothing going on at all.
Discount Spider-Man. Just enjoying our last night with our blessed and beautiful and whole child who is definitely in one piece.
Alien Queen. Now please don't contact us for the rest of the night, okay? Thanks, night-night.
Denki Calamari. ... Punk's not dead. ... Yao Mamo. ... Bones go burr. ... Kermit. ... Uwawaka. ... Tailboy. ... Depresso. ... Invisibitch. ... Zuko. So that was fucking weird. When Shouta stands before Class 2A on the Day of Reckoning, he ensures to stare each of the desecrators of his mental stability directly in the eye before he opens his mouth. Dare I ask, he commences wearily, what did you all learn from this assignment? Of course, Ida's hand shoots up in the air first. I learned that communication is key between co-parents, especially when it comes to setting boundaries on which products should and should not be allowed near their infants' feet.
Babies and tadpoles are two very different things, Ribbit.
Asui offers up sagely.
Just because I liked being pushed down the stairs when I was younger, it doesn't mean every kid is gonna be up for that, Kirishima announces all too cheerily. Baby strollers take a lot of lipids to make, Yaoyorozu grimaces. Our children can all too easily become vessels in which we project the selfish desires of our own hearts, Tokoyami mutters, gazing at Gerard, Billy, Joe, Evanescence, William's asymmetric bangs and tattoo sleeves. Never underestimate the support course's tenacity when it comes to replicating human bodily fluids, Ojiro grimaces. Never stick your nose where it doesn't belong, Sato says hollowly. I kinda aced this assignment, Kaminari smirks. Also, there are wild bears on campus. Okay, seriously, is anyone going to do anything about this?
Babies and zero gravity don't mix, Uraraka sighs.
I learned the necessity of a strong parental unit when you have someone depending on you, Midoriya gabbles. Also, the importance of a good night's sleep because boy am I tired. Some parents are more capable than others, Todoroki states, ensuring to look Bakugo dead in the eyes. Some brats are held back by their uncultured swines of parents, Bakugo snarls, glaring daggers right back at Todoroki. The hero course isn't worth it, Shinzo deadpans. Good enough, Shouta huffs. Thankfully, from what I can see, none of you appear to have embarrassed yourselves on a visceral level on this particular assignment. After the moralistic dumpster fire that was your last health class, I had fully prepared myself spiritually and psychologically to expect the worst from you all. In that, you can all take some semblance of comfort. Class 2A seems to exhale a collective sigh of relief. Thank God. Thank all that is holy that, For better or for worse, we have more or less survived yet another karmic hurdle in one piece. That is, until Shota's eyes fall on Sero's desk. "Sero," he starts. "What have you got there?" An audible "Yeep" emanates from Ashido's general direction. Shota's brain does several consecutive triple axels as he narrows his eyes on the sweaty, freaky-elbowed boy sat before him. "Sero," he says again. "What is that?" "A bag, sir," the boy says, like the task here was to state the fucking obvious. "I can see that," Shouta clarifies. "What is inside it?" Sero's eyes fix resolutely on the wood of his desk. Ashido is trembling so hard in her seat she'll probably vibrate her molecules through solid matter. "Sero, Ashido," Shouta says, slightly louder now. "Is there something you'd like to tell me?" The collective exhale that the class produced just moments before is sucked out of the air again as Sero slowly, quiveringly, reaches a hand inside the plastic bag on his desk. He hesitates, looks up at the ceiling as if praying for a divine release. "Just do it," Ashido chokes. So he takes a deep, rattling breath, and he does it. Every single cell in Shota's cardiovascular system throbs with an unknown energy when he takes in the monstrosity before him. It is a heinous, melted-down mess that masquerades in a bastardized shape of a human being. Its visage hideously disfigured and cartoonishly painted with desperate attempts at features so as to save it from being wholly abominable. The limbs that are still attached are marred with deep trenches of acidic burns, gouging out lumps so profound that Shota's lungs physically hurt to lay eyes upon them. And yet, none of that is the biggest visual offense on display. No. That funeral shroud of honor could surely only be bequeathed upon the stark white diaper that has been clumsily arranged around what must have once been this hollowed creature's pelvis. Shouta looks at Sero, then at Ashido, then back at the Hell Cryptid. "I take it all back," he says finally. "We live in a godless society." "What did they even do to it?" Hisashi splutters in the staff room at the end of the teaching day.
Allegedly, they were working on a brand new ultimate move in the training grounds together that involved Ashido using Sero's tape to swing herself around in the air and shower the ground below her with acid.
Aizawa recounts, every word hitting him with another wave of psychological fatigue.
Only they failed to take into account that their baby was not only present, but well within range of their newfound attack.
And so, the baby went bye-bye. Hisashi cringes.
Jeez, say what you want, but when that class of yours fucks up, they certainly don't give it any half measures. I should have known better than to believe that they wouldn't devise some new and ingenious way of testing my sanity.
Shouta groans, laying his head pitifully on his desk and wishing it was instead the belly of a plump, fluffy cat.
Well, it's done now, Hisashi says evenly. The support course have taken the babies back, whether they're whole or not. It's not your problem anymore. You can go back to focusing on actual hero training.
Don't say that, Shouta mumbles into the wood of his desk. Nezu's probably bugged the place. He'll hear what you said and force me to lead a month-long seminar on the beginner's guide to the care and upkeep of anal beads.
Nah, don't say that, Hisashi chuckles. If anything, that's Midnight's area. Speaking of, is she really going to be co-leading that Sexual Health 101 course with Recovery Girl?
Don't know, don't care, Shouta grouses.
That's Ashido and Sero's problem now, not mine.
Poor souls. Hisashi leans back in his chair, looking thoughtfully up at the ceiling.
Do you think many of your students will be sad to see their kids go? He muses. That must have been a pretty intense 2 weeks for them, and, like it or not, it's easy to form attachments under pressure like that.
Possibly, Shouta sighs, lifting his head up from his desk. That's the nature of the job. You forge new bonds and are forced to sever them each and every day out there on the field. They were going to learn it sooner or later.
Hisashi hums. Not every bond, though.
With that, Hisashi smiles a little and gently latches onto Shota's hand, rubbing his thumb around in soothing circles.
Speaking of, he murmurs, we've got our own little listener back at home now. How about we finish up here so we don't keep her waiting? And Shouta doesn't need to be told twice. The end.